We would like to congratulate the 30th anniversary of your flight with the Piotr Timok, and of course we're happy to be able to talk with you and congratulate you from International Space Station. And we have some questions here from the internet, and now we are going to ask or cover all of them. When you are up there, which feelings are strong pride in being in space as one of the few of humanity caused by a huge space universe? Honestly, I personally haven't think about it so far, and maybe when I return home and have time for this, I will be able to ask answers on this question.
I'm ready to meet with other life forms, but it's a big question. Already the other life forms for meet with us. But it's, in my opinion, it's impossible because we fly very close for Earth. So.
Their question is about debris in space, and that it's moving very fast, and that there's a lot of debris in orbit around the Earth, and how can we avoid it? And actually, what we do is we track the debris that we can see that's large enough to track, and there's many thousands of objects that are being tracked on the ground. And in fact, just last night, there was something that was being tracked that was potentially going to be near us a little bit, but not too near us. And we can do a maneuver to make sure that our orbit doesn't overlap with the debris that we can track. Otherwise, we have shielding for the much smaller debris.
This is a really great question about how to live without gravity after all of these years. And you know, it's has, of course, plus and minuses. Plus and fly, you really feel it, and you never fall down from the ceiling or from the wall. But the minuses, of course, that everything around you is flying, and if you put something and not do it, definitely fly away from you, and then you spend a lot of time to find it out.
When we stay in International Space Station, we still connect with our family, our friends. It's possible we use for this IP phone and mail.
The next question is also about communicating from the people of Earth to the crew on the space station. And we do have a lot of different ways to communicate now. It's much more of a normal interaction than it might have been 30 years ago. We have more than just the radio. We have basically an internet connection. We can send video to and from the ground. We can have sort of teleconferences with family and friends and with the ground. And we have email, and so we can do most things we can do at our desk at home.
You know, talking about how the spaceflight change us, I don't think that so far that we changed a lot during our stay here, and I don't expect that anybody will change a lot. Of course, it's only 3 of us so far, but sooner we expect there will be 6 people on board the station, and especially when new colors come visit us, like shuttle or another Soyuz, it's more than 6, it's sometimes 10 or 11 people. But a person as a person, or man as a man, I think don't really change. It stays the same.
Right now we can see some movies, some TV shows, some radiogram in real time, but there are a lot DVD, and we can see some films and listen some music.
The next question is about how much time we have, how hard we're working, and if we're working all the time, and if we have any time to relax. And we are working very hard. We're very busy. Of course, like Sergey said, if there were 6 of us, we could probably work, get a lot more done than the 3 of us. So we're working as hard as we can. We have now Russian and American and European and Japanese modules. So there's a lot of activity in all the modules and science to be done. But relaxation-wise, we do have movies to watch. There's actually I found there's a guitar up here to play. We can listen to music. We can talk to our friends. So there's things to do. We also talk around the dinner table and have our own social activity up here.
Honestly, it's a hard question. Is there any view on the Earth that can compete with the views from space? We have a lot of beautiful views on the Earth. But I think from my point of view, what can't compete with the view from space is the sun rays in space. We never were able to see such a beautiful colors and lights that we can see here while the sun is rising. And that's probably unbeaten view, and I've never personally see most beautiful thing on Earth.
Good question. Does staying in space cause any loneliness? I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit hard because we have a lot of job, and as a rule we work together. So I don't know.
This question is about how much younger we're going to be in seconds when we come back after this expedition, and that has to do with relativity because of how fast we're moving. And that's a good question. We're moving around 17,500 miles an hour, which is about 8 kilometers a second. And the speed of light, this depends on the speed of light, which is 300,000 kilometers a second, not an hour, but a second. So we're moving a tiny fraction of that speed, even though we're moving really fast. And so that ratio, and in fact the square of it, affects the amount of our age change. So anyway, when we get back, we'll be a tiny fraction of a second younger than we would have if we stayed on Earth.
We very often look through the illuminators, try to find the places where we were born or where we happen to live. And of course, it's always interesting to find the city where what you're from, or of course the street or house. But unfortunately, just looking through the illuminator is impossible. You just sometimes barely see the cities. But when we using the lenses such as 100 millimeters lens, we can see in the photo even houses, and that helps actually to be more closer for our city or homeland.
The last question asks us what kind of things we're lacking on board the space station. For example, what kind of food and what kind of activity. I think the thing that's noticeable, we're living in an environment that's been, completely devised for us to live up here. We've taken with us from Earth what we need in order to live in space, and it's amazing how good we are at doing that. But what's missing, of course, is other life, green in the space station, green trees, what we see on the ground, other life. So there's no other than some little experiments or that we might be doing, we don't see a lot of other green life. Except when we look down, then we see it on a very large scale. And otherwise, there's a small number of people up here, so the activities, are a little bit limited. But there's plenty we can do to keep ourselves busy.